Welcome to the first ever episode of Backlog Boat. I'm your captain, Roberto Gonzalez. To my left, we have our navigator.
Am I the navigator? And am I on your left, dog? Because last I checked, we were like 300 miles away.
I specifically asked you about this, and you said to do it this way.
That was 3 months ago before I fucking had a mental breakdown earlier this morning. So, yeah, I guess I'm Jake.
To my left,
Navigator.
300 miles away,
Keeping this shit together and on track.
we have our navigator, Jacob Burt. And also,
You're just gonna dox me like that, bro? You're just gonna fucking throw my last name out there like that, dog?
I guess your name is a lot more common than Roberto Gonzalez. Good luck finding me. Also to my left, a couple of rooms away, is our doctor, which apparently now I'm wondering, should I say, or you can say your name.
Yeah, I was about to say my last name is like ridiculously common. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So our doctor.
Can introduce themselves whenever.
Oh, okay. It's supposed to be JK. Stephanie Aguilar.
And together we're here on the Backlog Boat podcast, where we just talk about our backlog and the things we did these months. So,
What's on your backlog, Robert? What'd you do this month?
I did a lot of things this month that were on my backlog.
I don't fucking believe you. How much shit came out this month that you consumed?
Stuff that came out this month.
Go ahead and tell me how you ruined this fucking show.
Okay, the stuff that I did.
You watched The Last of Us, didn't you?
I did watch The Last of Us.
Fuck you.
But
Yeah. Stephanie also watched The Last of Us.
When did Kaleidoscope come out? Was this month also?
Kaleidoscope did come out this month as well.
Yeah, how long has that shit been on your backlog? Fucking 8 years, I'm sure, bud.
I finished Beastars.
Well, there's something. What'd you think of Beastars, dog?
It was alright.
That's all you got to say about it?
It didn't leave much lasting impressions. Could have been better.
I've only seen the first episode. Like, what happens in it? Is it still like the same?
Like, you're fucking full of shit, Rob. When did Beastars season 2 come out? Was it last year? Because that was probably one of the best fucking seasons anime that came out last year. Fuck you.
So to answer your question, if you watch the first episode, that is basically the premise for the entire series. Like,
look, man, it looks good. It sounds good. The voice acting is fucking god tier. Season 1 plot probably stronger than season 2, but like,
it's the same plot.
Beastars is the best gay romance that's come out probably in the past 30 years.
Huh?
I mean, there's always Skate.
I don't know, man. Like, if we're talking about Skate versus fucking Beastars, dog, I think I would rather fucking put Beastars on top of that list.
I disagree.
Yeah, fucking, you want red-haired skater kid and blue-haired skater kid just to kiss instead of just be bros?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like canonically fucking Louis and Lugosi ending up together is a lot closer than fucking the two dudes from Skate that I forgot the name of already. The guy from Japan and the guy from fucking Canada.
But we don't get it in either one, so.
I don't know, man. Lugosi, you saw him in that dress.
Well,
look, man, we know who's the top in that relationship, and it's fucking Louis.
I mean, yeah.
So you got nothing to say about fucking Beastars. It was
Okay. It was pretty good. It was a good little Scooby-Doo mystery, high school hijinks.
Yeah, fucking die, actually. But yeah.
I mean, people die in the Scooby-Doo universe.
Sometimes.
And the music's really good. It does look really good. It's well animated. And it's not that long either. So, it ties itself up in a nice little bow. I wouldn't recommend it to someone. I wouldn't recommend it to someone. I wouldn't be like, hey, you should watch Beastars. Like, I don't see myself saying that to anyone ever.
If I said that to multiple people, and guess what? They watched it. They're like,
you made people watch it. You just snuck that in there and forced them to against their will.
Yeah, guess what? You regret fucking nothing. Bryce has only watched like 2 fucking animes, and Beastars is one of them. And he's like, yeah, I had to go finish that shit because we only made it halfway together, Jake. I was just invested, my guy.
And actually, I take that back. You know what? I would recommend it to Stephanie. I do think she would actually enjoy it and really like it.
I don't know.
Look, man, just the fucking...
Yeah,
it's just the raw realness of fucking high school dog, and like the way it handles Lugosi's fucking depression and anxiety issues is like nice he doesn't have fucking anime anxiety or depression. He just has regular anxiety and depression.
Oh, that makes sense. All right.
Like, he's struggling with girls' dog. He's struggling with school. He's struggling with puberty. If you look into it, dog.
I am going to say things that are probably going to make people really mad right now, but I've tried to get into that anime like twice or maybe 3 times. And every single time it's just, I don't know, it's like a little uncanny, but I will say this, the opening and the ending.
Like, it's just
good.
It's played straight as fuck, but like, yo, it's a rabbit though.
What were you going to say about the opening?
I was about to say, that's all I had to say. Opening and ending was actually pretty good. Like to hear it. Pretty nice.
I'm just saying, like, that fucking anime did a really good job of adapting that manga, because that manga looks like fucking dog shit.
So did Attack on Titan.
Yeah. And I think the first 2 seasons of Attack on Titan did a really good job of dropping the source material so far.
Yeah.
But like the art in fucking Beastars is not good, dude. Like, have you seen the way that fucking dog looks?
I actually haven't looked at the manga for Beastars.
Okay. Well, fine. If you got nothing to say about the best fucking anime season in 2022, what else did you?
I mean, that was one of the backlog things that I watched. Most of the stuff I watched were newer, except for Tekken Bloodlines. Is that technically, when did that come out?
So last year.
Last year, and the 3 of us have watched that.
Yes.
Yeah, Bloodlines is fucking good. But like, I feel like you would only have that opinion if you know. Like, if you're in the fucking Tekken guts.
See, we actually consumed a lot of Tekken.
We did consume like
this month
3 hours of Tekken media right before watching that fucking regret.
And then Stephanie, you just had watched that stuff before, like when it came out, right?
Yeah. And also,
were you big into Tekken?
I was, most definitely. My brothers were really into it. And also, too, again, there are so many different characters and different stories, and it's hard not to love.
Because we watched that YouTube video that was, or at least Jake and I did, that was like 2 hours of just all the lore. We've been playing the game, or Tekken 7 specifically. I think 2 of your YouTube videos are about Tekken, right, Jake? So is your music.
I did a lot of fucking Tekken.
Yeah, Tekken just kind of took over this month, at least for us. And then we got the real fan over here that's been there this whole time.
Our fake fan. Who's your fucking main?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
All right. So I have this broken into categories. Are we talking about like villains that you can play? Because also too, we're talking about like Tekken 2, or are we talking about Tekken 7 since you guys have both?
Just who do you mean in Tekken 7, I guess? Who the fuck's played Tekken 2?
Me.
The real fan. The one that's been here from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those motherfuckers that are about to hit a nursing home. Yeah. Those guys played fucking Tekken 2.
Okay. Jake, you're like 2 years younger than us. Calm down.
No, he's got a point.
Yeah, it's like it's all 20 years fucking younger in millennial years.
So who's the main?
I feel like I'm going to get hate for it, so I don't want to say it.
You gotta say it.
I gotta say it?
Gotta say it.
We're going with, okay, so somebody that I completely annihilate with, and everybody can annihilate with, Bob, let's be honest. And of course, Robert, you know, I feel like, speaking of your name, right?
I just fucking got PTSD in the
What?
Because our friend Shy, he plays Bob and he mains Bob.
I should go get Shy. That's what I should do.
You should. I want to see your Bob.
Bruh. All right.
I don't know, man. Shy's hitting the lab like every fucking day. Like, unless your Tekken 7 hustles on that level.
Let me tell you, I got this. But also, too, I think, like, he's just a good character. And of course, right, he's been around, like, for a while, too. I think he was also in the one previous. But I really like Lily as well. I think, for one, she has the coolest costumes. And for 2, her stories are just funny. So, like, anybody can get into, like, her story. And she's easy to play with, too.
Okay. Out of curiosity, who was your Tekken 2 main? Since you have it broken down into categories.
I was about to say, that's, like, the main villain of Tekken 2. But I know that's for the old people, so we can't talk about that here right now.
What, fucking Kazuya?
No.
Who the fuck is the main villain of Tekken 2 if it's not Kazuya?
It's actually Jin's mom.
Oh, whatever, dude. What the fuck do you mean it's Jin's mom?
She has the coolest freaking outfits ever. And of course, too, right? I'm now realizing Tekken 2 is like hella old. Like hella old.
How the fuck is
1995?
Jun Kazama a villain?
95?
Yeah, came out. Well, I guess Yeah,
I'm
95.
older. I'm older than Tekken 2.
But it came on the PlayStation in 1996. But in arcades, 1995.
Like she's a fucking environmental protectionist lady
Mm,
who likes bad boys.
don't we all? But yeah,
Okay.
No, I want to know what makes you think that Jun Kazama is a fucking villain. Huh?
I mean, I think can we just have like one day where we just play Tekken 2? Can that be another thing that we do?
We
Just
can
all of us?
definitely do that. Yeah.
And then just see.
Sure.
Where do we get it?
What's it?
What's it on?
I think you can still play it, like even now.
PSXE emulator version 1.3.
So it's not like on PS3 or PS4, PS2, PS5.
No, I think it is because I think they.
No, I think it is in like a PS1 throwback. Like they still have those on PS3, at least I think.
Yeah.
What's the shitty PlayStation streaming service nobody subscribed to?
Oh, PlayStation Now or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably on PlayStation.
They bundled that up with their PlayStation Plus bullshit. So it's doable though. It's doable.
Well, I have been wanting to fucking play some Risk.
I do have the thing downloaded for it.
Bro, I spent like $45 on fucking PlayStation's Xbox Game Pass equivalent, and the only good thing on that bitch was fucking Risk.
This is true.
Oh. Also, too,
Okay.
what do you guys main for Tekken?
I have multiple mains.
I bounced around for a bit before landing at somebody because I've just accepted that I'm a fucking scrub. So I started out with Zafina because she's kind of weird and gross, but I like that. I like that she like breaks her own spine to attack people. But then I was like, Zafina's gameplay, like, it's kind of boring after you like get it down. Like the pokes are cool and all, but I'm trying to see some cool stuff. And then I saw that Nina had some cool grapples. And I was like, okay, I'll be a Nina main. And then I tried being a Nina main, and Nina's hard as fuck. I think she might be the most like mechanically complex fighting game character I've played. And I've played like fucking King of Fighters. So I was like, damn, well, I could just grind it out and hustle with Nina, but I'll never reach the top. And then I remembered she had a sister, and she basically has the same move list, except she's way easier to play. And also, I really like her super. So now I'm running Anna.
Those are good choices. For me, it's got to be Kuma.
Your Kuma's actually pretty good. You just never want to whip it out because you're a massive coward.
And it's because I also like Josie.
Yeah, but your Josie's garbage.
Agree to disagree.
It's like your Josie's hot trash, dog. Like, I would say your Nina is better than your fucking Josie, and you only play Nina.
My Nina is all right.
No, yeah, you beat me with Nina every fucking time, and it upsets me greatly.
But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Kuma. Big bear, got a salmon.
Just play the big bear.
What more do you need? And I'm so sad that he's only canonly won once.
Because Kuma fucking sucks.
Oh, he doesn't. He's a bear.
Kind of sucks.
About to beat your Bob with my Kuma, and your freaking Anna with my Kuma.
Anna's got some bullshit, dog. Like, if I actually had the time to put any fucking training time into Anna, I feel like I could do some stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll never know.
Watch it. When I fucking graduate, my guy, or flunk out, one of the two, I'll just be labbing fucking. What else am I going to do with my free time?
So, I feel like I'm not the only one that consumed a lot of media that came out this month. Stephanie, what's something that you consumed that would work under the backlog? Something that came out a while ago that you'd been meaning to do?
All right. I feel like I have a few things, but I think this one I really want to talk about. It's called Pressure Cooker. And so, Pressure Cooker is a reality cooking show on Netflix, and it came out in 2021. And let me tell you, you would think, right? Like a cooking show is just going to be testing your skills at cooking. But this show takes a completely different look at it. And it's bananas. Like people are sabotaging people left and right. They're making friends with people. They're making alliances, making enemies. And you're just like, what is really happening?
So what you're saying is there's finally a good fucking cooking show?
Let me tell you.
Is it Survivor? But Hell's Kitchen, but Survivor?
That's exactly what it is, honestly. Except at the end, like you'll never see it coming. And so it's just like, what the heck? You see all the things that they make. You do have favorites, and there are people who are kicked off that shouldn't be. And there are people that stay that also should not have stayed. It is just bananas. So definitely recommend.
So there's not like it's not like the best person at cooking wins.
I mean,
is it like whoever completes the cooking challenge?
There is a lot of that, but I feel like the show took a lot of liberties and like really stretching what cooking could all entail. And basically, it is like Hell's Kitchen, Chopped, and then also every reality TV show that you actually see combined it into one. And you're just like, what is
Okay, Iron Chef is what I was thinking.
So the rules aren't like there's not really a set of established rules they have to follow.
Absolutely not. And when you think that you know the rules, they switch it up. And there's not like a host on this show. So it is literally like a ticket counter thing. So I guess this is stuff they have in restaurants, right? Like a ticket will print. And that is their host, basically. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Jake, what's something on your backlog that you or did you consume everything? Is everything on yours actually a backlog? Did you not consume
Everything on my list, like, yeah, was on my fucking backlog. Like, yeah, I guess sticking to the topic of mid anime, according to Robert. So, fucking watch like 20 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh,
Yeah, I got beef with that fucking show because it's like almost great, and then it just shits itself.
I mean, some would say
what does that even mean? Yeah. How does it shit itself?
Like the fucking. All right, well, let me go ahead and say something nice so I don't get fucking shot in my sleep. Fucking first OP and outro, bangers. Songs fucking rule. That fucking intro song again by Yui is so fucking good that my dad likes that song and he doesn't even know what Full Metal Alchemist is. I just went to visit for fucking Thanksgiving one year and he's just like, "Hey son, you ever heard this fucking song? You're into that weeb shit? This is pretty good." And I was like, "I do know that song. The show's bad, but the song's pretty good." And he was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I won't watch it."
Oh my god, your dad would love it. I'm so mad. Make your dad watch that. You made him watch it.
No. I put on an episode of Attack on Titan in the living room and he walked in on it and he's like, "I guess we're watching this together now."
Well, I think he would enjoy Brotherhood as well.
Whatever. Animation, good. I like all the fights, all the alchemy shenanigans that's going on. It does look great. Like Roy Mustang, whenever he snaps his fingers, you hear it, you feel it. Those explosions look great. You know, I think the fighting scenes are just well choreographed. I also do like those. But let's talk about the fucking writing of this fucking show. So I put down this show like 5 times. I watched the original Full Metal Alchemist that came out in like what 2001 on Adult Swim,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Hey, this is neat," but I never like watched it all the way through because who had the time when they were a child? I watched a couple episodes of that, and then everyone told me not to watch it because it's bad, even though I was thoroughly enjoying it. So I was like, "Fine." So then I tried picking up Brotherhood a couple times, and I was like, "Damn, this show sucks." So I tried picking up the manga, and then I tried picking up the manga, and it turns out the manga fucking sucks too. So finally, after however many years Robert's been trying to get me to watch a show, I'm like, fine, I'll watch it all the way through so I can thoroughly talk shit about it. And like 20 episodes in, those first 10 episodes aren't like great. Like the show has a pacing and tonal problem. The show will almost do really good drama and like hit you with like some really good tragic scenes. And then somebody will make a joke about Ed's fucking height and then just ruin the tension every fucking time. The show just doesn't know when to let something not be funny and just breathe. The episode where it goes over why Ed and his brother burned their fucking house down, and it's like dramatic and dark, and you're like, damn man, that's rough. And then fucking Colonel Armstrong just starts flexing on people. Like, it's not funny. If you had an anime sense of humor from 2000 to like 2015, I hope you got bullied. You weren't funny.
All right. Look, that's a fair argument, but also it's a product of its time.
I don't judge shit.
And I think at least the Edward's height thing does happen for a reason.
I mean, there's a throwaway line like 15 episodes in, but it's still like not funny, and nor is that plot important. Like the only time when Ed's being put on blast for his fucking height and it's mildly entertaining is when the old lady's doing it because she's actually funny because she's playing it straight. After episode 14 or whatever, there's just a couple of just episodes where they stop fucking making not funny jokes. And I'm like, wow, this is actually really good. I'm actually really intrigued by this interesting mystery and drama. I'm like, wow. It also like just has a problem of trying to introduce characters that you don't give a shit about because they're around for like 15 minutes and then they bite it. Like there's no time to like get invested in a character when that fucking character just feels like they're there to be killed tragically. Like there's no fucking point. Like a show that does that exact thing, but not shitty, is like Samurai Champloo.
Oh, that is a good one. Oh man.
Like Samurai Champloo does introduce characters that bite it in the same episode, but it also like manages to make you feel something. Like they let the moment breathe. It's got appropriate buildup.
And I think that's definitely something that's gotten better over the years, you know, with certain anime.
Samurai Champloo is old.
I know.
Fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
But what I'm saying, anime as a whole, though, I think they've gotten better at not having that cringy sense of humor.
I'm just saying, like most anime that came out between like 2000 and like fucking like 2010, just throw it in the fucking dumpster.
But you're gonna keep watching Brotherhood.
Yeah, like gonna finish it because, as I said, I'm invested in the mystery now, and I do like the show has decided to take itself seriously enough at this point where I'm at that I'm like, okay, fine. The deal with Scar is interesting. Want to see how that fucking character development goes. They're getting pretty close to the whole, or at least unraveling a bunch of information about the shit on the other side and what they saw when they were there. Like, I kind of want to know what's his name? His name's not Lin Fan. That's the ninja chick. The dude who's from not China, voiced by Death the Kid.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't want to say his name because I don't know his name. I know kind of his name, and if you're not there yet, I don't want to.
Ling Yao. Okay, it said Ling Yao is apparently his name.
Stephanie, is he who I think?
I think so.
Talking
I
about?
also don't know. So then, wait, Jake, you finished the whole series of Brotherhood, or are you in the middle of it?
No, I'm like episode 20. How many episodes are there?
Oh.
There's like 59 or 60. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that makes
yeah.
sense.
That's why I was like, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, I get you. I get you.
Yeah, okay. So, guy with the fucking yellow jacket who's from not China. Yeah, he's Lin Yao,
Okay.
like the prince's 12th son. Or whatever.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
It's got good voice actors, obviously. I don't think there's a single shitty voice actor in the show.
I second that. That is very true.
Like, it really did feel like, because I know that basically the show is just like, yep, we gotta redo fucking Full Metal Alchemist. So it really does feel like those first 10 episodes of Brotherhood are just trying to get you through it real quick, and it assumes like you already know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So like those first 10 episodes just have fucking pacing and tone issues up the ass. Like in the original Full Metal Alchemist, what was his fucking name? Chimera guy and his daughter.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
What's the Sid? Whatever, that's how inconsequential he was in fucking Brother.
I mean, he's the biggest meme ever.
I know.
Like that whole thing, that was like a 3-episode arc in the OG fucking 2001 release. That had proper build up. Like fucking spoiler, I didn't give a shit about fucking Colonel Hughes. Like he's barely in the fucking show.
His presence was
Like-
felt though.
The only time when I was just like, damn, Colonel Hughes is like when Ed and fucking Alphonse come back from their trip visiting their teacher, and then they figured out what happened. Like that's when the show decides to stop cracking jokes about it. And I'm like, okay, there we go. There's some good drama. Finally, somebody went a whole fucking 20 minutes without making a joke about Edward's height. Fuck. That's how I know it's serious.
I don't think it's so much his death, but the reactions of other people. Because I also like when he died, I was like, oh yeah, that's sad. But it was when Mustang is at the funeral and he's like, terrible day for rain. Like because
Shut the fuck up. No one gives a shit, Robert.
Yes.
That fucking moment had nothing to it.
What do you mean?
Bro, those motherfuckers are barely friends in fucking Brotherhood.
Okay, Jake. I just want to let you know.
I tried reading.
You'll
I got like a solid fucking 20 chapters.
because you're only on episode 20, right? So like, yeah, no, you will get to see more of their relationship later.
Cool, that's not going to make me care about that moment anymore. Like it's already happened.
It had already happened for them too.
Like post-mortem, my guy.
Oh, what I'm saying, I'm not even saying like later when he comes up, it's not like to make you feel sad. It's to give you insight onto like Roy and his relationship.
Whatever. So if you want to know why I bounced off that fucking show so many times, it's because those first 10 episodes aren't that great. I don't think they're that good.
Well, now you made it past them.
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
And like now the show's going somewhere. Finally. But we'll see if it just like tonally shits itself again.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, we'll see. Fucking supposed to be the best anime ever made. He's self-resurrected and got an animation degree. He would have made Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Probably, means Jesus is a woman.
Are you fucking enough. You know K-on's the best anime ever.
That is on my backlog.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
and you know what you watched instead? Fucking Kaleidoscope.
I did watch Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is a TV show that is on Netflix. It's not that long. It's like 8 or 9 episodes, and it's got a gimmick. Every episode, title of the episode is a color, and the colors do play into the episode. Like there is a theme to why that episode is called that color. And the whole gimmick is everyone on Netflix got sent a random order of these episodes. So like no two Netflix accounts have the same order, except for the fact that the episode titled White is always the last episode. I don't think that gimmick needed to be used. I do feel like there's a better story to be told if you put them in a specific order. And so I do think that some people might have gotten like a really shitty order and other people might have gotten a better order.
But the gimmick, though, Robert, would you have watched the fucking show without the gimmick?
Probably because it has Giancarlo Esposito, played Gus on Breaking Bad, and I love him as an actor. So it's a heist. The whole thing's a heist, and I love heists. I love that Ocean's
So it seems
11
like
shit.
a heist that's out of order would be really fucking confusing.
It's not because each episode is isolated. Like it takes place throughout very different time periods too. Because it's a heist a long time coming. It's not bad, but it's not really anything impressive either. Pretty basic. Like if you don't like heist movies or heist things, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you do specifically like heist things, you already know what you're getting into. People will plan things. They're gonna go bad. Then it turns out, oh, them going bad was part of the heist. It's a story you've seen plenty of times.
Hey, side tangent. Did you know my fucking textbook spoiled Ocean's 11 for me? Because I've never seen that fucking movie.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, like, it's a fucking textbook on cybersecurity, and it just spoils the entire fucking plot of Ocean's 11 to use it as a fucking synonym for cybersecurity. It's just it's literally fucking pointless, because it goes over the entire plot synopsis of fucking Ocean's 11, and it's like, but it turns out they were the cops the whole time, and that's the shit you need to fucking prepare for when you're fucking designing a security system. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I get to shit late. That's why I'm on this fucking show. Like, what if I was going to watch Ocean's 11?
Then, I mean, it's fine because Rick and Morty already spoiled it for you.
Not like directly.
And I just spoiled every single heist movie or show ever by telling you the formula.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad your month so far has been fucking mid-central.
So, and speaking of random episodes being in random order, Stephanie, you played Lost in Random.
I did.
Oh, I actually wanted to play that. Wasn't that on Game Pass?
It might be, actually. What's that about?
I had got this game, I think like 2 or 3 months ago. And I was really interested in it because it reminded me of, I think it was called Alice Return to Madness. That old game. You know what I'm talking about?
Solid game.
Did you say old? Sorry?
It is old.
It is old, Jake. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sorry.
Did you say Madness Returns is fucking old?
It is.
It is.
When the fuck did Madness Returns drop?
Like 2003 or
mad.
2002.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I'm
not
thinking
even
both of those fucking
2010.
games, and I can't wait for the third one to drop. But if you just fucking called me old,
Are they still working on that third one?
they fucking better be.
I think they actually are.
Oh, that game came out in 2011.
2011, yeah.
Let me tell ya. And so that's one of the reasons why I got into, I guess, wanting to play Lost in Random. And also, too, it has the same, like, game mechanics to it. But also, too, I guess it kind of reminds me more of, like, Kingdom Hearts with all of the gameplays, with all of the different ones, even the side games. And so it is ridiculously fun. And also, too, there is a lot of, like, mystery in the beginning. And you do play as Even, which is trying to find her sister Odd. And there is a lot of different things going on. There are a lot of different towns you can explore. It is so cool. So I would recommend it. And I haven't finished it yet, though. But I do know that the ending is supposed to be, like, pretty bananas. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, definitely has Alice Madness Return feels to it.
Like just aesthetically or like gameplay wise? Because gameplay wise, it was like I guess it was like a hack and slash. It was almost like Devil May Cry, except without difficulty or like interesting combos.
Yeah, that is pretty fair. But yeah, so there are different ways to play, I guess. So you still get to like do the actiony stuff, but then also too, there is a point where you have a dice that follows you around, and it does like tie into the story because again, a lot of things that are connected to Lost in Random are basically the roll of a dice. And so it kind of, I guess, talks about like fate and also to what you can determine for yourself. And so you get to roll a dice and it kind of helps with combos and different things like that. And also too, there are just like a lot of other mechanics. So if you do get bored with video games or if you don't like one similar gameplay, then it really like mixes things up, which is really cool.
Well, I guess me calling Alice Madness Returns like a less difficult or mechanically complex Devil May Cry isn't fair. Like Alice the Madness Returns is like a weird. It's got PS2 platformer vibes where it's got like a little bit of everything. Like it's got the Ratchet and Clank style. You got multiple fucking weapons. You got your little platforming. You got your weird puzzles. It's a video game ass video game. Robert, have you played it?
Alice Madness Returns? Yeah, I've played it. I think 3 of us have played that. Pretty sure.
So I'm saying, dog. I'm waiting on the third one. See, my like the original American McGee's Alice is a fucking like third person shooter with like platforming elements, and I'm kind of sad that it's like really hard to like play that these days.
What do you mean?
It used to be DLC for Alice Madness Returns, like that's how I played it, but I guess you can't get the key that way anymore.
I have it on PS3.
Yeah, like I have it on Xbox 360, but like I guess that was like a pre-order bonus or like a limited time deal. So
Oh, like the code is expired or whatever?
like they just don't sell them anymore. And I don't think you can directly buy American McGee's Alice anywhere except for maybe on like good old games. And apparently it's a bitch to get running.
I have a question about Lost in Random. What's the music like?
Oh, that is a good question. Oh, that is a really good question, honestly.
I take it not memorable.
I was about to say, it's like
That good, huh?
relaxing. Like, I don't know. I feel like I just have to like pull out my Switch right now and just play it. But it is good. It is good because it doesn't like encapsulate a lot of things. Because there are cutscenes too. Not too many, but there are some.
Okay.
So yeah. But also too, I don't think you'd go out looking for it either. I don't think there's like somebody on their computer being like, you know what I need to listen to right now? The Lost in
No.
Random soundtrack.
Okay. Because like I watched a clip the other day of someone playing some Donkey Kong game from who knows when. It was actually Diddy Kong, so I don't know
Like
what the game was.
90s.
But like this song just started playing, and I was like, even the person playing just stopped for a second, and it's kind of a banger. So I was just like, maybe this game might have something crazy like that.
Was Donkey Kong Country because that soundtrack books. All 3 of them.
I never played any of the Donkey Kongs, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, there's fucking 3 of them. And I guess there's one on N64.
It did look older, so who knows? Speaking of music, though, I found probably my favorite artist. His name is Permanent Zemp. I don't know how to
Oh, this sounds like somebody I'd fucking hate listening to.
pronounce
So
it.
tell me more.
I was just scrolling, saw the little album cover design, thought it was interesting, clicked it on, and like I love the whole album. It's all great, but there was this one song that just it's all I would describe it as like down tempo, lo-fi, kind of vapor wavy music. And there was a song that just it took me to a time and a place. Like I instantly was like back straight out of high school, just not a worry in the world, just fucking driving into the sunset kind of vibes. And it was amazing. It was great. And I also listened to another one of his albums. Is that one's Loveless Remastered. I also listened to Give Me a Razón. And it's the same stuff, except this one has like some Spanish guitar added to the mix. I don't know what he's at now, but when I looked at him, he had like less than 1,000 listens to each of his songs on Spotify, like under 600 views on YouTube and stuff for some of his music. I think this guy's gonna get big though. I really do, because it's so good. If you ever are just doing like maybe some typing, some writing, or you're just driving, you don't want to listen to something that's like lyrics, just throw this on and you'll get stuff done. It's good stuff.
Wait, also too, does Jake know? Does Jake know the story?
Wow.
Um,
Do I know about what?
Does Jake know what story?
that you had called me?
Oh, about
really-
this guy?
Mm-hmm.
No, he does not. See, the thing about Jake is if I tell him something like that, then he's super harsh on things. So I was just kind of gonna let him like maybe listen to it on his own, and not me.
Just tell me what's the best piece of music you've ever listened to in your life.
It's pretty fucking good.
Just like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the best anime that's ever been
Well,
created.
let's not start fights now.
I just think it's really good, and I think specifically you, Jake, might enjoy this music. And normally it's the other way around. Normally it's you find music that I like. So I was like, maybe this time it'll be my turn to be like, hey Jake, look who I found. And then you'll be like, yeah, wasn't bad. And then I get that validation, you know. But
Yeah, that's what you're looking for, is validation from me. Is that the scale?
I mean, it's more of a like. I mean, I also think Stephanie's gonna like this. Maybe she likes lo-fi, you
I
know.
do. It's that
So.
good stuff, most definitely.
And especially Give Me a Razón, because it's got that Spanish guitar, little jazzy.
Hey, Robert, give me 3 lo-fi artists you like right now.
Jake, why are you doing this to me?
I'm just putting you on blast.
Yeah, see, you're putting me on blast because specifically all the ones I thought of except for him are lo-fi hip-hop, and I don't want to out myself because I love lo-fi hip-hop. And this isn't lo-fi hip-hop, this is just lo-fi.
That's fine. I was just curious, Todd. You know, I'm sure he's up there with your other favorite lo-fi artists, such as
You know I'm bad with names. The only reason I remember.
on a fucking podcast, all you have to give is names.
Look.
Hey guys, you remember that song that sounds like
Okay,
that one? Yeah, that was pretty good.
okay. See, this is what I mean though. This is what I mean. Normally, it's Jake will give me a song, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's pretty good," and I'll add it on a playlist, and then I just don't. It's just that song. I don't even know the name of the songs usually. It's just like, "Oh, that's that song Jake showed me," and bam. This time, I thought it'd be the other way around, but here he goes already, just trying to put me on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, City Girl had a couple good albums. She like kind of switched into modern R&B, but like her early lo-fi stuff is pretty good. You know, In Love with a Ghost, also another pretty good lo-fi artist. See the Deli, they had a couple good hits. Yeah, there's just a couple out there. Hey, Stephanie, what's some of your favorite lo-fi artists?
I think I'm also gonna be like Robert. I'm just gonna bring up all of the things that like don't count, like Shiloh and things like that.
I'm just saying, like this is your guys' stage. Share with the world your interests, your favorite lo-fi artists.
I'm sorry that like the one that I'm trying to put out here wasn't enough to satisfy you.
My favorite channel is the Lo-Fi Christmas music channel.
Really, my favorite artist is lo-fi beats to study to girl on repeat for 24 hours.
I mean, I guess New Jobs is fucking lo-fi.
I mean, send me that link, dog. I'll give it a listen, and the next podcast I'll
Shit all over it.
say something positive about it, maybe.
All right. I'll send the link to both of you guys. Let me see. Stephanie, you watched The Whale.
I did. And I know technically that's not a backlog, but it did come out last month, I believe. And I guess, I don't know. When you think of Brendan Fraser, like, what do you think of?
I think The Mummy. I think The Mummy, and I think specifically that episode of Scrubs. You know.
Well, also, too, do you think that's like his peak performance?
Oh no, he's a fantastic actor. It's just that's just what comes first to my head. Like I think he's an amazing actor though. Like I've yet to see something of his I did not enjoy.
That is fair. And let me tell you, with this movie, he definitely delivers. The opening scene is a little bit weird, but once you get past that, this movie like goes into so much stuff. It is also bananas because Robert, specifically, I think that you would love this movie.
Okay, why is that?
So there are a lot of things going on all at once at this movie. And I think people just hone in on like, again, if you know like the synopsis, there's a lot of like health stuff going on with him. But he's also an English teacher. And the way that like he approaches writing and his students is just, it's amazing. It inspires, but also too, right? I guess it has this like window to honesty, which is something that like I guess people don't really talk about. Like I think the only honesty we really get is like when you read Reddit or something like that, right? But he really wanted to see this from his college students, and I think it just explores it in an amazing way. And there is like literally this scene that I know that I think even Jake would probably cry at this, and so it should be something.
Oh, would I?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you would. Let me tell you. But it is an amazing movie. And I guess there are people that do get like really, honestly, like just fucked in the end. But that's okay. But I would recommend it. Do I think it's like going to be a movie that everybody's gonna love? No, but it can be a movie that you can watch and be like, that was interesting.
So it's not a waste of time.
Most definitely not.
I mean, I'm sold. I've been wanting to watch it anyway, so I will probably eventually watch it when it comes out to like rent or something. Or would you say this movie has a greater impact in the theater? Like, is this a theater movie or is this like you can watch it at home?
You can watch this at home. But also too, I think as well, like if you're a parent, it's gonna hit different. And it might not be the funnest movie to watch with parents in the beginning or at the end. So just throwing that out there.
Okay, so don't watch this with my sister.
No, you could definitely watch it with your siblings. Well,
But it's gonna hit different for her though.
oh yeah, it probably will. I think it would hit different though if you're a father. So just
Oh,
there.
I think Jake's back to be able to tell us all about the music that he's been listening to.
Yeah, dog. So did you know the Tekken 7 soundtrack's pretty good?
I was aware of this.
I'm just saying, dog, like, I've been putting on my fucking Digimon watch. I've been loading up my homie Gurumon in the watch. And he's like, hey man, let's go pump some fucking iron. And I'm like, you're goddamn right, Gurumon. Then I show up at the gym, my fucking latest fitness tech, my Vital Hero watch. And then I hit that elliptical, dog. And I put on the Tekken 7 soundtrack. And it feels fucking
I
great.
thought you were about to start a sponsor right there.
No, I fucking wish, dude. I wish. Yo, Namco Bandai, if you want to send me some more fucking Digimon V cards or whatever for my Vital watch, I'll put that shit in right now. But for the uninformed, a Vital Hero is essentially a Tamagotchi watch, except it's got Digimon and shit inside it. And they get upset if you're a fat, lazy piece of shit like me. So, like, you gotta, they want to train, and they train by sensing your heart rate. So if you want a strong Digimon, dude, you got to hit the gym. You got to start running laps, get that heart rate up.
So it's like a fitness watch, like the Apple and all that. It tracks basically your steps, your vitals.
No, not really. Like, it's got a heartbeat sensor on it, and that's it, and a step sensor, but like they both kind of fucking suck. And like even the manual is just like, hey, this is a fucking toy for children. If you're serious about this shit, go get a Fitbit. And I'm like, well, no, because they don't have Digimon in.
I'm sure you can get Digimon through an app, but
I'm satisfied. I like the little pixel art and the little beeps and boops it makes. I guess the next generation of them is just, they have a lot more shit you could add to them. Like, I guess there's a little Deku in the second generation of this watch you could like train and work out with.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But nope, we're in America, so get fucked. We just got Digimon right now.
okay.
I mean, there's like a little companion app where like, because your Digimon stats do get better and they do like evolve or digivolve into different Digimon. So there's a little companion app where you can like go on little Pokemon style adventure fights and also fight your homies. So what I'm saying is my Digimon Battlers Club is taking applicants right now. So far, it's just me and Gurumon.
So what you're saying is we can all get watches that aren't sponsored and
$70 on this fucking toy watch.
$70. Okay. I feel like you have a Apple Watch, right?
I do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You might be able to get an app or something.
Nope. Because you can't insert the V cards into your fucking Apple Watch, so you might as well buy another one.
Might as well.
Right. I'm just
saying that. I got it for Christmas, all right, and I'm saying I'd use it more than the fucking Fitbit.
You have a Fitbit?
No.
And that goes without saying.
Because they're more expensive than the DigiWatch, Robert.
Are they?
Then that goes without saying.
I mean, isn't a Fitbit like $100?
I thought you could get like, well, I guess like the really cheap one without
the
screen.
shit one? Yeah, well, the shit one probably doesn't have Digimon in it, now does it?
You're just gonna put a sticker on there. It'll be okay.
No, like he like flexes when you're working out real hard, and you're like, that's how you know you're doing a good job.
I'm just gonna stick a band on my iPhone.
I got like 1,500 power points right now, dog.
Also, too, Robert, don't you have like one of the biggest phones?
I probably do. I don't know if the 14 got bigger, but this thing's pretty huge.
No, but the Tekken 7 soundtrack has like one of my favorite features in a fighting game ever. Like Guilty Gear has a god tier fighting game soundtrack, but Tekken 7 does this thing where it'll play the normal version of a song, but there are two versions of every song. And when somebody's about to win the final round, it switches to the hype version of a song. Like, what's the ninja lady? Kinemitsu? Like her regular theme is fine. I'm like, yeah, okay. This sounds like the Naruto soundtrack, which is okay. And then the second version comes in when somebody's about to win a round, and they just fucking bust in with a fat guitar, and I'm like, okay, now it's a real song. I mean, you felt it, dog. We boxed to fucking Ram's.
We did. It was that was interesting as well.
This shit hit hard, dog. Yeah, dog. What'd you think of on unboxing?
You know, I wish I could have had my glasses on because.
I mean, you could have. I would have just not hit you in the face.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that?
Or well, you could have also just had them on, and then that would have given you more incentive to block.
This is the only pair of glasses I have, and we were drunk.
I was not drunk. You were drunk.
I was drunk until I finished that workout, and then I was no longer drunk. Sweat that shit out.
Exactly, dog. What I'm saying is martial arts are for everybody, and they fucking rule. Like, now that my knee is slightly less busted, as soon as I stop any pour, I'm going to go back to judo.
I mean, it is fun, though. It is fun.
No, boxing's fun as fuck. The main issue is a lot of boxing gyms want you to, like, go get in real hard-ass fights with other people for some reason. Yeah, there's sparring, but also some dudes that, like, do martial arts are just trying to fuck people up. I went with a couple of those dudes in Taekwondo. And to be fair, we probably could have been good friends had I, like, engaged with them more. But, like, they obviously watched a lot of MMA, and Taekwondo is about point sparring, so you're just trying to get a point. You're not trying to, like, knock somebody the fuck out. But whenever we'd sparred, dude, those guys would go hard as fuck. Punches to the back of the head, leg kicks. They didn't give a shit, dude.
Just whatever goes. They just wanted to hurt someone.
Yeah, I mean, not really. They just wanted like as close as they can get to a real fight without being a real fight. But other than Tekken 7, been listening to weeb rock again because it brings me peace. And the school year starting back up this quarter has been a fucking nightmare. So Asian Kung Fu Generation's been one of my favorite bands for a hot minute. And So Fa is probably one of the best albums ever made. I know they did an OP for Atomic Galaxy, and I guess they also did one for Naruto, which you didn't fucking know about.
It's amazing. Just throwing that out there. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever. But Soul Fa, like that album, that album is so fucking good they recorded it twice, my guy. Like, I guess there's the original 2004 release, and they re-recorded it in 2016.
I mean, I really like them as well.
See, Mass of Fermenting Dregs. Sorry, I get fucking band name fucked up all the time. World is Yours, OP or EP. That shit's good. Like, that shit is just some good ass 30 minutes of J-Rock if you're in the mood for it. My Dead Girlfriend Hades, another good album. Like, if you're just in the mood for some chill light rock. So I've just been throwing these 3 albums on repeat to de-stress after a long day of not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Hey, Stephanie, quick question, because you're like one of the only people I can ask about this. How was your university experience? Was it a fucking nightmare, or am I just stupid?
Oh no, it was not the best. I think Robert also knows all of the things that I went through. Even like for my master's, it was not good. Even when you go back, it's not any better.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about grabbing my master's, but like I don't want to spend any time in this university. Then I'm gonna have to give this school every dollar I own so I can fucking show up to feel stupid and anxious. It's a fucking good time. I don't know, like I showed up at a really bad fucking time. Like I showed up in 2019.
Oh,
and it was okay. And then the head of the computer science department, who was a weeb for another way better computer science university, designed the program exactly like that program at that university. So it was like getting the same education for cheap. But then, they offered him a real job with real money at that university that he loved so much. So he just took that job and fucked up the whole computer science department, the process. And while the mad scramble was happening for Eastern to get their shit together, COVID hit and double fucked everything. And now we're kind of at a point where there's no teachers left. So like every elective is just hard as fuck because the only people teaching electives now are the guys that are real in there. My options were data mining or GPU computing, and I give fuck all about either of those 2 topics. Data mining is for fucking stealing people's information, and GPU computing is for people that want to mine Bitcoin, and I don't give a shit about either. Like, I was just trying to make video games, dog. I wasn't trying to fucking do something beneficial to society or actually be smart.
I also kind of want to ask, who was the professor?
For what?
That ended up leaving. That was actually really good.
Whatever, we can link it in post, maybe. His name was...
Oh, okay then.
Like, he was a fucking fanboy, so it was like the same education, but cheap. But then you was like, hey man, yeah, we'll hire you right now, dog, and pay you more than double. than the shit university. And he's like, well, I'd be fucking stupid not to take it.
Damn, good opportunities.
Yeah, no, I hope he's doing great now. He's one of the best professors I've ever had. Fuck you, man.
Okay.
Really fucked my shit up. We don't have to bleep, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we can. Fuck it, just to be safe. Just to be safe,
give a shit.
it'll be fine.
Bro, it's not like it's gonna be hard to figure out who we are.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, there's only like one guy who likes fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and he's in this fucking call right now.
Okay, Stephanie.
I also like it, but I mean, it's cool.
and I feel like a huge. I mean, wasn't it the top rated anime for like the longest time?
I actually have good fucking opinions, so that's how you know we're not you. So I guess you're on your own, buddy.
Well, I think this is actually like a good segue. So one thing that I ended up reading is called Hell's Paradise. You all should definitely get into it. It goes through so many different tropes, so many different things combined it into one. And it's not a long manga. It's only 127 chapters, which is actually pretty good compared to One Piece, Naruto, all of those other ones. And it just goes through all of these things. But one thing I wanted to talk about is that I think it's going to be Mappa that's going to end up animating it this year. And it's been ongoing, well, from 2018 to 2021. That's when it ended. But also Mappa. So Jake, I just want to ask you a question. How did Robert introduce you to Chainsaw Man? How did that go?
I mean, he talked it up, and like everybody kind of talked it up a lot. Like it was probably going to be the best anime ever made. And with all the people, like all the big names they have on it in the animation and music industry, like, yeah, like I was like, just because I'm a contrarian asshole, I'm going to watch it and be like, pretty fucking mid. But like, yeah, it's probably going to be the best anime that comes out that year. And then Cyberpunk Edge Runners came out.
That is fair. Also, too, Robert did the same thing with Chainsaw Man with me, telling me there were like specifics about the manga and anime that I was really gonna love, and then I was just like, I feel like this is not exactly what happened. We'd love to hear.
I mean, the problem is like, man's got the whole series worth of context.
This is true.
We have like what, 50%?
A little less than 50%.
Yeah,
probably like 40.
So, like,
what?
Of
yeah,
part
but still,
one.
Edge Runners, best fucking anime that came out last year. Fuck you. I lied about Beastars. Beastars can eat a fucking dick. Fucking Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Have you watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Stephanie?
I have, and also too that soundtrack. Yeah, now that's one.
They just ripped the game soundtrack out, and I was like, you know what? Use this fucking soundtrack better than the game did. Fuck it.
And the ships, but anyway.
Oh man, like it's just I love Trigger so much, and I feel like we haven't had something as good as like Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill in a minute. Like Punchline was fine. I heard Promare was like pretty alright, but not groundbreaking. And then fucking Edge Runners dropped. Yo, fuck Chainsaw Man. I'm just gonna talk about Edge Runners. Edge Runners is like one of the best pieces of media that came out in 2022. That Star Wars Vision episode they did wasn't bad, but fucking Edge Runners, my guy.
Edge Runners is pretty good.
English voice acting, fucking god tier. Fucking soundtrack, god tier. Animation, goddamn fucking gorgeous.
You got that Mexican representation.
As awful as the world of Cyberpunk is, it does have a lot of representation. Like, you have an entire Creole district in Night City. LA is a fucking melting pot, and Night City is just the fucking post-apocalyptic remains of LA. So we're like, it's got all of it, dog. And like, yeah, gender is a construct when you can just walk into a doctor's office and then walk out with a different one. People don't make a big deal about it in the game or in the setting.
This is true. Before we get too carried away, though, was that all you had to say about Hell's Paradise?
Oh, with it? I mean, it's really great. Honestly, it's going to be an amazing anime, and I can't wait until it comes out. I think it's not as long because there's a lot of fight scenes. So again, if manga is your thing, I would recommend it. There are a lot of ships, for one, if that's what you're into. Also, too, shonen. And also, too, it could be considered a shoujo as well. There are a lot of things going on in this, so it's really amazing.
No, my interest has been piqued.
Let me tell you. But also, too, I think I have a question. So there is a lot that goes into this manga. Is evil and crime the same exact thing? Or what are like the differences for you guys?
It's not the same thing.
I mean, philosophically, they're not the same. Well, I mean, unless you're like, I guess Eastern philosophy, they are the same thing. Like, I think the whole point of Confucianism is those that don't obey the fucking authoritative order are evil, but whatever.
Most definitely.
philosophy, like the philosophy classes I took were a long time ago, and I drank a lot during those times because it kind of fucked me up. So
I would say the evil comes from malice. Like if your intent is purely that of malice, then that is something evil. But if your intent is to survive or help someone else out, then I wouldn't consider that evil because even though they might be considered a crime. So I guess intent is the difference.
Are we trying to talk about philosophy?
I'm just saying. That's how I see it.
Obviously, Robert, evil comes from nature.
Evil comes from nature. So you think it's within all of us?
Well, see, in order to even be evil, you have to have an understanding of what it is, which nature does not. But that which would be considered evil would not be considered evil in a nature setting. It makes sense to be a greedy asshole and hoard the food when you don't know when your next meal is coming. It makes sense to be aggro as fuck when you don't know who you can trust.
See?
But obviously, we're people with rationale, dog. So we've risen above nature. So now that you're in the know, you are now capable of being an evil person.
Okay, but then wouldn't you need to?
If you have the capacity for reason, you have the capacity for evil.
That's fair. That doesn't mean
And
you're
evil
gonna
is
be
usually
evil.
born out of baser instincts. No, but like it's literally just because it wouldn't be considered evil in a nature setting. It would just be considered what makes sense. Like, yeah, you probably don't need $1 billion, but being greedy makes sense in a nature setting.
I guess. I take it this is a topic that comes up in Hell's Paradise.
It most definitely does. It goes through so many different things, and also too, philosophy is in it, and it's like a central part to, I guess, actually making the story go forward. Oh my goodness, they did it in such a beautiful way. And also too, it like just explores like strength and weakness and how both of those things can even make you stronger. And it's bananas because of course, right? It's a manga, and sometimes we see that, but I think in this manga specifically, it's kind of in a more serious way. And of course, right, there's a lot of death, and also too, there is a lot of gore. So that's not your thing. Definitely don't read it. It's, I don't know, it's just like amazing how they do it. They also go through with like evil and crimes and what should be punished and what shouldn't. And where do you draw that line? It just like makes you think after you're done reading it.
Okay, so I have a question. You said it has like 127 chapters,
It does.
and Mappa is animating it.
They are.
Chainsaw Man Part 1, which is also getting animated by Mappa, has less chapters than Hell's Paradise. Do you think that with the amount of episodes, it was 12 for Chainsaw Man for this first part we got, this first core, however you pronounce that? Do you think that that pacing would work for Hell's Paradise if they just do like total 24 episodes and 2 seasons of 12 episodes each? Or do you think it needs more time to cook?
I think that they could do it in 24 episodes. I wouldn't want to see it like that, but I think they could do it, and they could do it beautifully.
Makes feeling better. They apparently fucking botched Dorohedoro like real bad, and I love that anime.
Rip.
Like, I guess like I love Dorohedoro, but I guess the fucking anime adaptation of that manga is fucking straight up dog shit, according to anybody who's fucking read it.
Simple fix. Don't read it.
Simple fix, just read the manga. Boom, done.
Or don't read it, and then you can keep liking your
Then I
anime.
could be one of the haters, Robert.
That's
Then I have something else to talk shit about.
That's true. That's true. I guess I'll have to do that with Tokyo Ghost. Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh my word.
Tokyo Ghoul fucking sucks, dude. Don't watch it.
No, but like people that have read it say it's amazing, and that the fucking anime slaughtered it. So
if you use Reddit, you fucking suck. Like your opinion's invalidated.
I mean, I didn't read it off Reddit.
Then how do you know people on Reddit said it, huh?
I didn't say people on Reddit.
You just said Reddit.
People who read it. Who read the fucking thing. Like, you know what Reddit originally meant before Reddit became a website? English.
No.
Okay.
You should have just said consumed the
people who consumed the fucking pages.
Ate them pieces of paper.
You know, back before you could look at the internet, back in the past. Speaking of the past, we played The Past Within. Stephanie and I did.
Okay.
It's a 2-player game where I mean, I can't really say for Stephanie's half. I had a box in front of me, and I was in a room, And I basically had to communicate things to Stephanie, who was in the past. And she would communicate things to me. And basically, we would a lot of puzzle solving through time. So,
Isn't that the like plot of Dead Space 3?
no.
Yeah, a little different.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe you. Take it from a guy who's never played any of them.
I mean, you play Dead Space 3, though.
I was hammered the whole time. It doesn't count.
I guess. It was fun. I really liked it. It was short, but it was fun. What you think about it?
Yeah, I thought it was fun too. And I think it made it even better that it was like really accessible because you could use your phone, you could use a tablet, you could use your computer. There were so many ways to access it, which is really awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Oh, it's like a Google Play Store app.
Was it an app or was it a browser?
It was an app.
Okay.
So it is on iOS.
I got it on Steam, so like I was on PC and she was on her tablet, or
So it's just
Yeah,
was it like a cute little co-op puzzler or what?
with a horror twist.
God.
Just an adorable little puzzler, like your favorite games, like Portal 2, or if it takes two of us.
See, in those games, at least like you're in the same room, even if you have a different skewed perspective. But in this one, it's like one of you is literally in the past and another one of you is in present. So it's more of a communication thing than something that you see right away. Like the puzzles are mainly solved through vocal communication rather than like how when it takes two, one of you might be upside down and the other one's like not upside down, but it's you guys are still both seeing both screens. In this one, it's more like you just have to communicate with each other.
And be very specific on what's going on and what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Just a cute little puzzler, guy.
Kind of fucked up, actually.
Just an adorable little puzzle game.
Like once we figured out what was going on, it was like, oh,
Just a tiny little Riddler.
I feel like
Play it with your niece or nephew.
I don't know, but I feel like Jake, you and Robert should play it because there's also another. You get to choose between being a butterfly, and I think if you choose the butterfly, it's different because we chose the bee, right?
yeah. There is a thing it asks you at the beginning, and we chose one. So
Can you get each other killed? Because if you can, then Robert and I are going to be able to play this fucking.
I don't think you can, but
We'll find a way.
you definitely could find a way.
How's the boat?
Like, have we ever played a co-op game that wasn't just a fucking immediate nightmare?
No, well, we should play some Payday 2.
I'm down for some fucking PD2. Bro, I fucking love Payday 2.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been a stand of Payday for fucking ever. Payday 2 is probably like top 3 horde shooters. And I play a lot of fucking horde shooters.
Yeah, this isn't a horde shooter, and it's not even a video game, and it's not even in the backlog. It's very recent. It's in the here and now. We did watch the first episode of The Last of Us.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and tell me about how you ruined the show more. Go for it.
What do you mean how I ruined the show more?
Yeah, it must have been on your backlog a long time.
Like I said, not a backlog thing. Only one episode's out.
Hey, Captain, just fucking...
At least 4 days ago. Backlog.
Yeah.
I mean, next episode comes out tomorrow, I think. If it's Sundays. Good. It's like the game. The actors are great. Ellie's a little weird, but hopefully she'll grow on me.
Okay, so hot question. Is there a reason to watch this fucking show if you've played the game?
I feel like that's probably the biggest reason to watch it because you want to see what they do different.
You'll get the most out of it if you played the game.
You'll get the Easter eggs and you'll get like the little.
Or is it a 1-for-1 adaptation?
It's not 1-for-1, but it's pretty damn close. It's beat for beat, and some scenes are straight up choreographed exactly like the game.
So is there anything new for me to consume? Someone with very finite time?
Do you like Pedro Pascal?
I can choose something different.
He, at one point, does his Mandalorian stance.
The Mandalorian was okay.
No, I mean, like, in The Last of Us, he does the same exact stance. He does as the Mandalorian.
Very
And he's
cool.
holding... Yeah, but...
So
I'm just saying, like, if you already... Yeah, you haven't even played The Last of Us 2. So go do that before you watch the show.
Oh my gosh.
I got like 12 hours into it.
Both y'all need to play that game.
What, Jake,
I
have you
don't
not
fucking
finished?
like stealth games.
You know what?
I'm sorry, Stephanie. Go on, continue. What were you about to say?
Oh no, I said, have you not finished the second one either?
No, I don't fucking like stealth games. And they doubled down on the stealth.
It's true. This is true.
Like, fuck. You know how I played The Last of Us 1? I beat everybody to death with a fucking brick. And if I couldn't beat them to death with a fucking brick, they got a shotgun shell to the face. Last of Us 2 will not let you play it that way.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
I disagree.
And like what sucks is I'm kind of invested in this. Like the story I wasn't offended. Like I was enjoying the narrative. But fuck do I hate playing that game. I kind of just wish like if they make a Last of Us TV show season 2, I would rather consume that than play the fucking game.
See, here's the problem with that, bud.
Is it just lumped in? Because I'll watch the fucking show then.
I mean, I can't say yet for sure, but I don't know how they're going to handle that.
Look, man, all I'm saying is if they do a TV adaptation of Last of Us 2 and it's as good as people are saying this fucking Last of Us 1 TV show is, yeah, sure, I'll be on that shit in a minute.
The problem is
I hate playing that game, so I'd either need to watch somebody else play that game.
They'd have to film some of the scenes for part 2 now.
No, you just de-age them.
Yeah, but why would you? It's not like Last of Us 2 already came out, so you already know the scenes. Like the smarter move would be to just film them now. But at that point, why not just lump it in now?
See, spoiler for Mandalorian season 2. They did our boy in CG, and he looked fine. No, he didn't. Put your fucking mouth. Stephanie, have you seen The Mandalorian season 2?
I have not seen it, but I have heard.
I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I didn't say the fucking thing I was about to say, because oh my fucking god.
Yeah, that would have been quite the spoiler.
Like the Leia CG in part 3, but worse. Sorry, I mean part 3 of the new trilogy.
Oh yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh yeah, those exist.
What are you talking about, bro? There's only 6 movies.
So let's take it to something a little more based in reality. You watched Stephanie the Volcano Rescue from Wakari?
Oh yeah.
What's that about?
Oh geez. It was about okay, so people knew that it was an active volcano, but they thought that it wasn't going to erupt. And it ends up erupting. And there were 2 tour groups that were on the island, or of course, right, like near the volcano. And it goes through kind of the survivors' recounts of what happened, kind of how the whole country kind of handled what happened. And it's just kind of messed up. Like, I feel like with all of my stuff that I've kind of watched, it kind of deals with morality in a way. And this one was kind of the same thing. Like, sweet baby Jesus was just a lot.
Okay, and then this is like a documentary, like this really happened, right?
Yep, this really happened.
Would you recommend someone to watch this, or is it just like a sad time?
It's just a sad time. I mean, it is like good because there were like couples that came out of it and they like felt even closer than before. So I guess that's a good thing. But
yeah, nothing will bring you closer together than just watching a lot of people die.
Pretty much, or seeing your flesh melt off. There was a lot. There you go. You're welcome. But anyway,
hey, you're welcome. Go watch this fucking documentary and be sad. Your life was going too good recently. You need to be knocked out of fucking peg.
I guess you'll be like more appreciative about the things that are going on, but also too, there are some hopeful moments. Like one of the tour guides, she actually made it out, and she kind of talks about how she.
Okay, so what you're saying is not a couple people didn't die in this shit. It's more like, oh hey, these 4 guys got out, so yay.
Well,
not like, damn, like 4 guys died in this fucking volcano explosion.
Well, there were actually a lot of people that ended up dying, but it was like half and half, I guess. And also, too, there were people's bodies that were not found. And
sick.
Oh, geez. Just the way that, again, the country
handled season 2.
Pretty much, let me tell you. But again, if it's something that I guess you are feeling down about, like your own life, I think it will definitely give you a new perspective on things, and you'll be like,
yeah, nothing will cheer you up more than watching other people just fucking be miserable.
Let me tell you.
I'm elated.
There are some good things in it. Like I said, you'll definitely look at your life differently a little bit, at least for a second, and then everything will just be like, what is happening?
Yeah, and then I'll think about GPU computing for another like 3 seconds.
Most definitely. You'll never escape that, but...
And in keeping this boat float and going the right way, because our navigator here is doing such a good job.
Bitch, you've been doing all the transitions, all right?
I just skipped over.
I've been waiting for shit to happen organically.
I just skipped over the fact that like we didn't ask Stephanie her opinion on The Last of Us show. She also watched it.
You skipped over.
I did. Yes, that's what I said.
There's no we in this transition fucking navigation, my guy.
So, anyways, what you think of The Last of Us?
I've been thrown in the fucking brig.
I was about to say,
This man's too afraid of a mutiny.
just jumps off the boat, just like in the volcano. Anyway, but so
Jesus.
Tell us about The Last of Us 2
oh,
or Last of Us TV show.
I thought it was good. Honestly, I think with watching The Last of Us, if you did play the first game, like there is just a sense of nostalgia. It makes you want to play the game again. And I think that's like a powerful thing to watch, like as something that was adapted from a video game. And that's really cool. And I get it. It's not exactly the same, but I think it makes it a little bit like better because it's not completely predictable. But I do like how they used a lot of the same lines from the video game. And I think that's so great. Like when Joel is with his daughter in that moment and just, I sell hardcore drugs. I literally just lost it. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
It is pretty good. And I saw later that they actually have quite a bit of Easter eggs with the game. Like, you know, how she forgets to give Joel a card in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually on her desk.
Oh.
Like you see it, like, and it's neat that they're doing things like that. And it makes sense because obviously Neil's working with them. They're going hand in hand. Like it's not just they gave it to some people that don't know anything about the game and just were like, make this show. And I'm sure HBO money helps.
It's very true. Also, too, how many viewers actually watched it?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's a lot.
It's over 10 million, which
Jesus.
is like huge. Yeah.
Bro, like, what the fuck else is there on HBO right now other than The Last of Us?
Let's not even talk about it. Let's not even talk about it. Fuck that. Don't even bring it up. It doesn't deserve attention.
What doesn't? What are we talking about?
Nothing.
Oh, Velma, the
Oh
hot
my
TV
God.
show. Nice transition, buddy. No, I didn't watch that shit.
Yeah, neither did I, and I
I also
refuse to.
didn't.
Like, let's just not.
Like, it just seemed like a not Scooby-Doo TV show that they fucking had to turn into a Scooby-Doo TV show.
Yeah.
Like, if it didn't have the Scooby-Doo license on it, I doubt anybody would be offended because there's a bunch of mediocre fucking adult animation out there.
Yeah, but I think the problem is also that not only did HBO get rid of a bunch of their good animation that was already on there, like I don't know if I'm getting the Venture Bros movie now,
Venture Bros was good. Who even likes Steven Universe?
but they get rid of all these animations that they have on there, and then this is what they put out. Like it's not a good look.
Robert's the hottest adult animation release of this year.
Obviously, you haven't watched.
Like, there's no one else.
Obviously, you
Yeah, I was
haven't
about to
watched
be like,
Puss
there's
in
only
Boots.
21 days.
Like Justin Roiland fucking
Yeah,
did an oopsie.
Yeah, he did a big oopsie.
He fucking got caught doing a domestic V. So there's, I don't know how that shit's shaking out.
Probably not good. Probably not good.
Can't wait for the next season. I bet it'll be great.
Let's see.
Even though I don't think I've watched the past like 4 seasons.
Yeah, it's fine where it's at.
How many seasons of fucking Rick and Morty are there out now, Robert?
6.
Considering you're
6,
the
I
biggest
think.
Rick and Morty fan in this call.
Probably 6 or
You
7.
rioted for the Szechuan sauce.
I literally never had Szechuan sauce.
You screamed Pickle Rick's
I
name.
definitely did not. I think that the fan base is
Arby's
cringe.
parking lot.
I don't like the fan base.
You're the only person I know who still wears Rick and Morty merch.
What Rick and Morty merch do I wear?
Don't you have a t-shirt and that hoodie?
That shit's gone, bro. Haven't worn that since like it's been years, bro. Just so you know.
Did you bury it in your backyard?
It's gone, bro.
Not
I don't
gonna
know what
lie.
happened to it.
Mr. Roiland tried to do his criminal history.
Not gonna lie, what?
Like after you had said that, I think from your mic, or maybe it was from Jake's, I'm not sure, but it sounded like you threw something or something like fell on the ground.
From whose mic?
I don't know, but it was done.
I know,
pretty
I am-
quickly.
Repeatedly setting this can of beer, the fourth and last one.
Okay. I was like, you know, I do have a headset on, so I can't hear anything in the room with me.
Robert just had to fucking rip off that Rick and Morty t-shirt and throw it out the window.
That's what
He's
it sounded
recording
like.
his Podcast, no shirt on. He's covering the fucking buckets of Szechuan sauce in the background.
I turned the light on, made sure there's no spookies in here. We're good. We're good. And it's 6 seasons. There's 6 seasons of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I don't think I watched 6 or 5 unless I watched them with you.
Yeah. Jake, you watched Donnie Darko. That seems like a
Cool.
backlog
All
thing.
the things I wanted to talk about, and you picked the fucking one thing I don't have much of an opinion on. Hey, man, Donnie Darko, it's fine. whatever. Like, you want to know why I didn't want to watch this fucking show for so long?
Movie.
Because everybody I knew who really liked Donnie Darko, I fucking hated.
Now you have become the thing you hate.
No, the scene kids, at least in my school, were fucking assholes, Robert, and they loved this movie.
What's your opinion on it? Is it pretentious?
I don't like. Okay, do you want analytical opinion, or do you want like raw guttural?
Give us the raw guttural Jake.
Immediately feeling after I finished watching it, because so fucking caveman brain. After I finished watching it, I was like, well, that was dumb. Like, as far as time travel movies go, it's the reason why I fucking hate time travel. I haven't seen Back to the Future yet, so maybe I'll watch that movie later and then talk about it on this podcast and then shit on it later.
No, you won't. These are good.
I know.
Or maybe it'll be actually a good fucking time travel movie, which will make me even madder because that means every other fucking time travel movie will have a goddamn blueprint to work off of and fuck it up anyway.
Hey, why do you think Rick and Morty is just Doc and Marty? Because they did it best. That's why no one wants to remake those movies, because they're already good.
I guess, like, we should probably talk about Donnie Darko. We should probably be talking about the media like people haven't fucking witnessed it before, because I realize it's not a thing we've been doing. Donnie Darko is like a fucking 2003-ish, I don't really remember, movie about a kid with obviously bipolar depression, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's basically going schizo. Like, he keeps seeing this fucked up bunny man in his dreams and keeps waking up in weird spots. And Drew Barrymore is in it, and Drew Barrymore hasn't aged a fucking day. And he's like, he has multiple outbursts in this movie, and he does some probably like not okay things, but like his behavior is glorified in this movie. And I feel like that's why I didn't want to watch this fucking movie, because everybody who watched Donnie Darko and was like, yeah, man, that was really cool how he vandalized the school, thought that was cool to do. You grew up in a specific location that is notorious for this shit, both of you. How do you feel like Donnie Darko impacted the culture of your particular high school?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I watched Donnie Darko late. I was already out of high school when I watched it.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. How many people in high school do you think wished they were Donnie Darko or were trying to act like Donnie Darko?
I mean, you went to a bigger school, Stephanie. Did you have a bigger crowd to pull from?
I think that's also what makes it bad, was that it was bigger. And I don't think I really heard anybody talk about it until I got to college, honestly.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so you're saying this is just some pretentious fucking underground movie?
I
And maybe it's just because I'm younger, but like, I feel like there's so many people that were just like, yeah, man, I wish I was Donnie Darko. I got fucking emotional issues.
don't think anyone at my high school knew who
And
Donnie
I don't
Darko
like
was.
taking care of them because I'm cool. What the fuck is therapy? Who does that shit? Donnie Darko does, but not me because I'm cooler than Donnie Darko.
Like, I think for us it was like Fight Club, maybe.
Yeah, it's another bad one. So I think the time travel part of Donnie Darko is dumb because like there's two ways to approach this movie. Either Donnie Darko is fucking schizo or it's a time travel movie. And if it's a time travel movie, I don't think it's explained very well. But also the schizo angle doesn't really hold up that well either. Just like there's not enough like, is this really happening, or is Johnny just fucking getting a little wild, dog? Is he a little fucking taking a little bit too much sugar? Like, there's too much evidence, at least in the cut that I watched, that leans too hard into the time travel aspect of this movie to even take it that way. I know, as I said, just for the folks that haven't watched this fucking movie. Donnie's seeing this fucking weird ass bunny man, and this weird ass bunny man's like, hey man, world's about to end in a couple days. You got to do all this shit to stop it from ending. And he's like, okay. But like, I don't feel like any part of this movie was done well enough to like justify either angle of this movie. As I said, if it's a time travel movie, the things that could be perceived as time travel bits weren't that interesting or like well developed. And if it's a schizo movie, there's like not enough, I don't know, I guess subtext. A movie that does that well is American Psycho is a really good example of a movie that you could just take at face value for what it is, or be like, maybe Patrick Bateman's just in his own head, my guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched this movie once and I didn't get it.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I'm not the only fucking person.
Like-
Stephanie?
Yeah, I was about to say when I watched this was a long time ago, so I don't
I was
know.
like, I've been hearing so much shit about this movie, and I'm just like, everybody's been like, "Yo, man, you got to watch some fucking dog."
No, I mean, I literally don't know what happened.
Like, because it's not that important. Straight up, like everything that happens in this movie is just, yeah, this is a kid with bipolar depression who's acting up and says he's doing it because there's a bunny man telling him to.
Maybe a little schizophrenia in there, but I mean,
But the problem is, it leans too hard into the time travel bullshit for that to even be possible. I know people are like, yeah, man, this movie's got a lot of different interpretations, but the only one you could really gather is like, yeah, it's a time travel movie and it fucking sucks. Time travel sucks. Stop putting time travel in your fucking movies.
So you said that wasn't what you wanted to talk about, though. Out of all the things, what would you want to talk about? Talk about that.
Oh shit. Okay. So I put my dog in the blender.
What is that? What?
Okay, so I took my dog Pascal and I told him to hop in the blender, and he hopped in the blender, and I got a cooler dog.
I feel like you're baiting us.
For what?
What is this?
Okay, so I've been playing a lot of Shin Megami Tensei 1. Shin Megami Tensei is based off of a book series that is essentially about a school shooter who summons demons into his school because he got bullied. But yeah, so Shin Megami Tensei is a series where you summon demons to fight other demons. And you give them enough money, and they're like, hey, you're a cool guy, I'll join your Pokemon team. So SMT is one of the oldest monster collecting battling games on any Nintendo system, I suppose. But I've been playing it on my SNES Mini because I got one of those for Christmas, and I hacked it immediately, allegedly, so I could put Shin Megami Tensei 1 on there, allegedly.
So this is like in, I don't know, Stephanie, if you've played Persona.
Yep.
Okay, so then, so what you meant by you put your dog in a blender is most, and I know Persona is a derivative of Shin Megami Tensei, but most of these games have
Spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei.
a spin-off, yeah. But most of these games, you fuse demons in some sort of way. They all have their different ways. Are you saying that, like, for Shin Megami Tensei 1, it's you put them in blenders?
Yeah, basically. So let me run you through like the first like 2 hours of this game because it's like a fucking 60-hour long JRPG because it's how they work. You're sleeping, you're having a dream, and you're walking down a hallway, and then you see a man on a crucifix doing 360s at you.
Sold.
And then he plants himself into the ground. Yeah, this game's on SNES, in case I didn't fucking make that clear. And then some priest comes up and he's like, points to the guy on the cross, and he's like, hey, who the fuck is that guy? And then you name him. Instead of Jesus Christ, they named him Yuji because that's his canon name. And he's like, hey man, thanks for getting me down from that cross. I appreciate it. And then you keep walking down the hallway with your new homie Yuji, or Jesus Christ, depending on how you named him. And then you see a guy getting poked in the ass by a demon. And he's like, hey man, who the fuck's this guy? And you're like, that's my homie Takeshi, I think I named him, because I think that's his fucking canon name. And then he wakes up and he's like, sup? I feel like I just got my ass kicked. Let's go. And then you start walking down the hallway again. And then you see a naked lady bathing in a fucking lake. And she's like, we're destined to be together, main protagonist. I'll see you later. And you're like, okay, man. And then you leave, and then you keep walking down the hallway. And then you see a woman about to be sacrificed on a pentagram. And then there's like a priest performing a sacrifice and two dudes with big swords. And then like she's like, hey man, say my name. And then you're like, oh hey, shit, it's that lady, Yuka. And then the dudes with swords and the priest explode. And she's like, thanks for saving me by saying my name. That's sick, bro. You're a real cool guy, protagonist. And then you wake up and you're like, damn, that was a crazy dream. And then you look at your computer and you see you got a email from Stephen Hawking that's like, hey man, so there's about to be a gigantic fucking demon war, and we need soldiers. So here, I'm sending you my Linux program that lets you communicate with demons, so you don't end up like me in a wheelchair. Because me, Stephen Hawking, ended up in a wheelchair actually because I got in a fight with the demon because I didn't know what I was saying. So maybe if we could talk to him, maybe like they wouldn't whoop your ass.
So this isn't a stand-in. This is Stephen Hawking canonly.
His name is Stephen.
Oh.
Okay.
And he looks like Stephen Hawking.
Okay. All right.
And then your mom's like, hey man, can you go pick up some coffee? And you're like, yeah, sure. And then you're about to leave your house, and then your dog's there. And then you can pet the dog or you can not. And if you don't pet the dog, you're a piece of shit. So I petted the dog, and then I walked out the door, and then went to the mall and grabbed my mom's coffee. Before I grabbed the coffee, I walked like into this little alleyway in the like mall, and then this dude's like, hey man, don't come any fucking closer. I'll fuck you up. And you're like, what are you talking about, dude? Are you good? You cool, homie? And he's like, oh shit, no. fuck that. It's coming closer. And then his throat gets ripped out. And then you see a little demon show up with a piece of his throat in its hand. And then he scurries off. And you're like, you know what would be a really good move for me to make right now instead of calling the police? Is picking that knife that the guy had covered in his blood, just in case that little demon guy comes back. And then you pick up the coffee for your mom. And then the guy's like, yeah, you can pay for it later. And you're like, okay, cool. And then you go home. And your mom's like, wow, dude, you look like you had a busy day. Anyway, you should go to bed. So you go to bed. And then shit starts getting wacky. Shit gets a little nutty.
Yeah, like, because it hasn't been nutty yet.
No. So anyway, the police arrest you because they're like, hey, you obviously murdered this guy and slashed his fucking throat because you're fucking disgusting. And you're like, what? I did no such thing. And they're like, why are you holding a bloody knife with his blood on it? And you're like, whoops. And then you're taken to a hospital instead of the police station. You see that dude from your dreams who was on the crucifix. And he's like, oh, hey, man, what's up? You're that guy from my dreams. And you're like, yeah, man, what's up? And he's like, yo, my girlfriend got kidnapped. And then they fucking threw me in jail for some reason. So let's bust out of here because this is fucked up. A doctor shows up and he's like, hey, man, we're going to perform some surgery on you. And then the guy who's not Jesus just runs up and snaps his fucking neck and then breaks you out of jail.
Nice.
And then you go and you look at the other jail cells, and then there's Stephen Hawking in the jail cell. And he's like, sup, man? So I'm just kind of fucked here. But, let me upgrade your demon summoning program because you fucking actually downloaded it. What a cool guy. And then he upgrades your demon summoning program and restores your health. And then you go and you fight a boss at the top of the fucking tower. First, you go home, and then, your mom's there. And she's like, hey, sweetie, what's up? Looks like you had a long day. And you're like, you look not like my mom. And then she's like, damn, you're right. It turns out I was actually a demon. I ate your mom. And then you kill your mom. And then you're like, damn, that sucks. And then your dog decides to join your party. You go and you get in another fight with another boss. But you can't beat that boss unless you take your dog and then you fuse him with a demon to make a cool demon dog. And that's why I put my dog in the blender.
That's in the first 2 hours?
Yeah, the game's pretty fucking nuts. There's also a conspiracy about a guy trying to overthrow the Japanese government by summoning demons and making a demon army. And the demons are like, yo, this is hot. We love being summoned. This is great. You're not going to stop us from being summoned. And then the United States of America being like, yo, that's fucked up. So we're going to send our soldiers into Japan again to stop the demons from being summoned. And now World War III is around the corner with fucking Japan versus America, the rematch.
That is wild. And also, I thought the first time when you said that you saw your dog, I thought you were going to say, and you can pet the dog or you can put it in the blender. But you did not.
No, you pet the dog and then you put them in a blender.
I see.
Yeah, so basically, they get deconstructed molecule by molecule, and then they get reconstructed into a cooler dog. But he fucking trips into a portal at the end of the boss fight anyway.
This guy over here is actually the guy from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Bro, you can make Cerberus the fucking guardian of Hades by shoving your cute little fucking husky Pascal and fusing him with a pixie, the most basic bitch demon in all of Persona and Shin Megami Tensei.
Well, that seems interesting. How's the music in that game?
Oh, the music fucks. That music fucking slaps. You listen to that shit for a solid 10 seconds, you're like, God damn, this fucking groovy ass bass line. What track is this, Jake? You to fight? I was like, nah, man, it's the save. So yeah, I believe Shoji Meguro, the guy who did the Persona 3, 4, and 5 soundtrack, was also on the Shin Megami Tensei soundtrack.
That's that good shit.
Shin Megami Tensei 1 loves her fucking slap bass. You know it's that good shit.
Stephanie, is there something that you specifically wanted to talk about, that you feel strongly about?
That I feel strongly about? I mean, I think I just wanted to mention that Idaho serial killer that's been going on. That happened last month as well. But yeah, I think that's it. And he's been caught. So
that video though that you have up there on that Idaho serial killer by another Stephanie.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true.
Is that like a good video?
I would say it's a good video to kind of see what happened exactly in Idaho, because it was, I believe it was at is it U of I? It's the one that's in Moscow, which is kind of close to.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know shit about Idaho or than Coeur d'Alene. But that's because it's the only city that's kind of not racist.
I mean, yeah, that's actually a fair statement. But
I don't really go anywhere else.
That's near there. Not to give away location.
Yeah, no. It's like, okay, there's a woman with a mohawk here. I'm probably safe.
That's the indicator. Makes sense.
She's on roller skates. She's got her green mohawk and a fanny pack. Like, I might be okay here.
Maybe. Just don't look him in the eye, I guess.
Jake, you got a couple YouTube videos up on there.
Nah, fuck the YouTube videos. So, y'all want to talk about Wizards of the Coast?
If we're already going to current events, I want to talk about some YouTube that I watched. I was just
Okay, fine. YouTube. All right, so we got really into Tekken this month. I never wanted to get into Tekken because 3D fighters can suck my ass. I was not any good at them, and I'm still not any good at them, but I at least like them now. So the video that got me into Tekken was this video by Alex Nostalgic. Don't give up on fighting games. This is a fight stick reviewer who made a video on his journey transitioning from fighting game scrub to man who's kinda into them. And he breaks down Tekken 7 with such a passion that really made me want to play it. The second one that solidified my interest in Tekken, The Miracle of Pakistani Tekken.
I also watched this video.
Gaming. This video bugs. So, what made me play Zafina, the main I mentioned way earlier in this episode, was there was also a guy named Arslan Ash who plays Zafina. And I was like, wow, that's neat. Anyway, and I saw his run at EVO 2022, 2021. I don't quite remember. And this man is a fucking monster. And then I was like, damn, that was cool. They're like, damn, he flew all the way out to Pakistan or from Pakistan. Showed up to Vegas, schooled everybody, was Zafina, bailed. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. But then Core Gaming put out this video on it, and I was like, it's kind of weird that two guys from Pakistan made top 8 in Tekken 7. Like, Korea hasn't been known to dominate this game forever. Like, the Korean scene for Tekken has been around since the start. And The Miracle of Pakistani Tekken is a little documentary on the Tekken scene in Pakistan and why there's these killers flying in from Pakistan, showing everybody up at EVO, the biggest fighting game tournament probably in the world right now. And these dudes, they don't even have access to like proper arcade cabinets. They jury rig arcade cabinets out of PlayStation 4s that there's not even a PlayStation distributor in Pakistan because it's too fucking expensive. They have to fly to another country and then bring them in that way. Usually during is it the religious holiday of Mecca? I believe. Usually it's Meccan custom to bring something back for your family or your kids, so they bring back consoles because that's the only way they can get them.
And at a upped price too, inflated price, because I think it was like 900, 800 bucks.
Yeah, the inflation on them is fucking insane. Well, I mean, that's why they import them, because if they were trying to buy a PlayStation Raw, it'd be like almost $1,000. And they have these arcades that are based on the honor system. So the Tekken arcade that Arslan Ash played at, it's, hey, you just keep track of how many times you lost, and then you go to the cashier when you're ready to leave, and then tell them how many times you lost, and then they tell you what the bill is. Because it's PlayStation operated. There's no quarter machines.
And the winner gets to keep playing for free.
Yeah, no, winner. If you win, you don't gotta pay, man. And it makes these fucking killers out of Pakistan. These dudes are playing on fucking recycled arcade cabinets. It's insanity.
It's pretty wild in the video too, how they have to even hook up just the electrical component of all that. Power goes out all the time.
Yeah, no, they got generators running because Pakistan just has a power problem, I guess, and then sometimes the power will go out. But it's cool because they got the arcade set up on a generator, so when the power goes out, they can keep playing. Arslan Ash is on a fucking billboard in the Pakistani equivalent of New York Times Square, and I'm like, okay, so this is fucking huge.
Kind of a big deal.
Knows. Yeah, no, and I don't think it was actually Arslan Ash that won last year's EVO. I think it was Khan, but still, Arslan Ash is probably the most famous Tekken player coming out of Pakistan, and right now he's just like, yeah, man, I'm not even as good as the people I play against in Pakistan. I'm just like, god damn. The love for this game in this country I know nothing about is on another fucking level. And I'm over here fucking complaining about how I can't do shit with Nina. And these guys don't even have all fucking 8 buttons to work with.
We're back to that perspective thing, like in the volcano, but just at a baser level.
Okay, you're trying to tie in video games to fucking people burning alive in a volcano?
To Pakistan specifically.
Okay, Robert, you got any videos you want to share? I shared mine too.
do have videos I want to share, actually. I've heard the name Defunct Land thrown around a lot, and I never bothered to look into it or what it is. I just knew it was something about Disney, something like that. And I decided to watch a video, and that turned into 2 videos. First video I watched was Disney's Fastpass, Complicated History. And the second one I watched was Disney Channel Theme, History Mystery. Both of these videos are just an incredible feat of research and love and passion for what this dude's doing, because they are insane. And both of these are documentary style, but I would only call one of these a documentary. So let's start with that one. Disney's Fastpass, A Complicated History. It's basically what it sounds like. It's just an extensive look at Fastpass at Disneyland and Disney World and all that, how it affects the park and everything. Because the parks were built originally to have lines of people. And I don't know if you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World, but these lines are like huge. And it's kind of built into it, so like you have shit to look at while you're waiting in line and stuff. And so when they first started doing Fastpass, they had a lot of stuff to work on, like specifically how it affected it, because you used to have all these people waiting in lines, and then once Fastpass became a thing, people wouldn't have to be waiting in lines as much. So then the park started getting overcrowded, and it's just crazy. It's an almost 2-hour long video. It's written and told so well and engaging that like I didn't get bored at all. So much so that like after watching this 2-hour video, I went and watched another one, which was the Disney Channel Theme, A History Mystery, like back to back. That's how engaged I was with the way this guy just tells a story. And that second one, the Disney Channel Theme, A History Mystery, calling that a documentary would be like calling a Bo Burnham special stand-up comedy. Because it is that, they are that.
No,
but it does so much more to transcend that I don't want to call this second one a documentary. It's art. And I don't want to say too much other than the basic premise of the video. It's just, you all know that Disney Channel theme. You know, that little 4-note thing. Bum, 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 bum. This dude just wants to find out who wrote that. And that's it. That's
Disney, Robert. Disney did.
That's what this video is. And I'll say this right now. Don't look it up. Do not look up anything on like who wrote the Disney theme or whatever.
I want to look this up.
Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Please, for the love of God, don't look it up.
It was Rob Zombie.
Wait, word.
I actually do think you guys should watch this video. It's not as long as the first one. The journey that this goes on, it's wild, it's emotional. It's just crazy. You just have to watch it. It's a very visual medium, so you don't want to put this on in the background and just listen to it. You have to like watch the video. It is a long one, but I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend not looking up anything on the Disney Channel theme, because after this video came out, there's just a huge spoiler now if you Google it. But it's so good.
Right.
So good.
You know, I've never been to Disney, so, I can just live vicariously and just watch that video.
What, you mean the Fastpass one? You could do that. But out of the two, I would recommend Disney Channel theme.
Yeah, I guess that's technically closer to home.
It definitely
David
is.
Area. Was Braceface on Disney?
I don't remember.
That's So Raven.
That's So Raven was on Disney.
What was the fucking TV show Hilary Duff was on?
Lizzie McGuire.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. And
there's that fucking fading Alzheimer's memory that's setting in.
I think both of you will get a huge kick out of that Disney Channel theme video. It's just art. This guy, he has a lot more videos. I know he has a Nickelodeon one, but I watched these two and I was like, okay, this is good content. Like, this guy makes videos far apart because the time, the effort, the resources that go into his videos is a lot. You can't crank this out. Because the Disney Channel theme video, that actually came out last month. And the Disney Fastpass one, I think, was like 2 years ago. Pretty wild. So that's all I have to say about that. You wanted to talk about Wizards of the Coast?
All right, so on the topic of shit that nobody cares about, let me just put this right next to fucking Shin Megami Tensei 1. So, Dungeons & Dragons, something that I love but don't really participate in because I don't have friends that are interested. Off, Robert. Yeah, they're burning their fucking brand to the ground currently, in case anybody else missed out on it. So, Stephanie, what you know about D&D?
I mean, I know
I'm sure
some things.
Like, I'm sure it's not like significant, or else Robert would talk about all the fucking campaigns y'all play in.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But also too, Robert just does that for you.
Yeah. So, like, do you know anything about D&D 5th edition?
I do not know. I'd love to know
Like,
more.
give me the outsider's perspective on it. So, when you think D&D 5e, what do you think?
Honestly, nothing comes to mind for me. I'm just like, oh, D&D.
Okay, so Critical Role is a podcast, actual play D&D podcast run by a bunch of famous voice actors. So that's hot in the D&D sphere right now. And like Critical Role technically falls under homebrew. A lot of the content people make and play in D&D 5th edition is homebrew, and Wizards of the Coast is basically trying to monetize it, and in doing so managed to piss off the entire Dungeons and Dragons community. So there's this thing called the open game license that's been around for fucking forever, and it basically saved Dungeons and Dragons. But it's like, hey, Stephanie, if you wanted to make your own fucking Dungeons and Dragons setting about dudes and volcanoes, you could do that and sell that setting, and people could buy it, and that's fine. But under Wizards of the Coast new rules, that's not okay. So, like fan made content, like Witches or Dungeons and Dragons modules that are homemade, like Grim Hollow or like Twisted Taverns or things like Critical Role, they have their own setting books. Like Wizards of the Coast is coming for 25% of a cut of that now, and that shit's already not really that profitable. Like if you make a module for Dungeons and Dragons, it's a passion project and people might break even. But basically they want 25% of a cut of whatever you make from your little Dungeons and Dragons book you made. They want the rights to reprint it and own it essentially without having to pay you any royalties if they think it's good enough that they want to republish it. And there's also another media thing where if you're talking about Dungeons and Dragons or using the license in any way, they want to be able to shut down that video if they think you're talking in any kind of a inappropriate way, such as talking shit about Wizards of the Coast. So considering like most of the Dungeons and Dragons community is just a bunch of nerds trying to play whatever the fuck they want and make whatever they want, like people are real mad about this shit.
And also for context on how big a Critical Role is, just because if you don't know anything about it, you won't know. They're like really talented voice actors. Like Ellie from The Last of Us is one of the voice actresses for it. And
yeah, you know, Full Metal Alchemist, Laura Bailey did fucking Lust.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Like it's celebrities, not just like, you know how people don't know voice actors that often? Everyone knows these voice actors. They're big deal.
Yeah, so Critical Role has their own publishing company and published a couple of books, and one of them being on their own homebrew setting that they use for the podcast that they make. And basically, under Critical Role or Wizards of the Coast new rules, Wizards of the Coast could be like, hey, we like that setting, so we're just gonna take your shit, reprint it. And like considering that Dungeons and Dragons is a community of just people coming together and then making shit that they like for each other, like they just burned all brand trust. Like it would be like Microsoft trying to monetize all of the mods for Minecraft. Like you just shot your community in the face for no reason, because it's not like there's other games like D&D.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be worse. I think a better comparison would be like if you use Microsoft Word to write anything and you publish it,
yeah, that is
they take 25% of it. So if you write a book and you use Microsoft Word and you put it on like Amazon or something, they'd be like, we want 25% of that. Or actually, we just are going to shut it down. We're not going to let you publish it because we don't like it.
Yeah, something offensive about our brand, so we're just gonna kill it if you don't mind. But yeah, like there's other tabletop RPGs for people to play, like fucking Pathfinder, Morkborg, Genesis, GURPS. Like there's no shortage of other games of these types to play, so they just fucking basically killed their community.
But also, I feel like to outsiders, everything you just said, they would just say, "Oh, D&D."
Yeah, probably.
I don't think so. I think like a lot of people could also see that sounds like some capitalistic bullshit. Like that is a lot of hard work that people are putting into these things. And then to be like, hey, we're going to come in and this is going to be ours now. That's really shitty.
Well, because like the original open game license saved the fucking company because people started using it because they're like, oh, D&D says we could use their rules without having to fucking pay them anything. Okay, let's make a bunch of spin-off games. Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition is like, it's a starter set, kinda. It is like the baseline, and then you build on top of it and play whatever the fuck you want. Like, there's homebrew settings for Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. There's fucking homebrew settings for Star Wars. There's a Peter Pan book called Neverland that fucks. And it's just, what if we created Peter Pan's world in D&D 5th edition and you could play as kids who fucking show up? Wouldn't that be fun? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds lit. Now they got to give 25%, which, like, as I said, these books aren't that profitable. They're usually passion projects. Like, they made another deal where now if you have a Kickstarter for a Dungeons and Dragons related property or item, they get 20%
Of the GoFundMe?
of the Kickstarter. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So there's these things called animated spell cards, which are just cool little like holographic cards that let you remember what your Dungeons and Dragons spells do. Yeah, they would get 20%.
Well, we'll see how this plays out.
It's already not going well for Wizards of the Coast.
It's already what?
Not going well for Wizards of the Coast. Like, D&D Beyond, the little subscription service they have that gives you all the D&D books for a couple bucks a month.
Yeah.
People have been like unsubscribing in mass because of this shit, and it got to the point where they basically had to hide the unsubscribe button on their website
That's kind of shady.
due to how much like income they're losing per month from everybody just being like, yeah, nope, not gonna play this shit anymore.
Can you do that though? Can you just...
As long as it's still there, and it technically is, you just have to jump through more hoops to find it. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Kind of meant like they burnt their fucking property to the ground. Like, people will just go play Pathfinder. Pathfinder is run by guys who wrote the original open game license. Or, well, they have the same lawyer team who wrote the original open game license. Like, the guy who wrote it was like, yeah, that's fucked. That's not how I wrote it. You're not supposed to be able to override the old license because it's retroactive. So if you printed old books using that license, they get a cut of those old books being like published now.
That's extra fucked.
So now they're just like, yeah, we'll just make another fucking license that use a very similar rule set to D&D, but is legally distinct, and people can just use that instead. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Like you said, there is plenty of other places to go to. And honestly, when's the last time we played D&D 5e?
Never, because people don't play D&D with me.
We've played other tabletop RPGs lately.
People don't play tabletop RPGs with me. It's fine.
Well, on that note, I would say that this has been a success. I'd say pretty good first episode. What do you guys think?
I mean, you got people on here on mic for like 3 hours, so good job, I guess.
It was
I
super
didn't
cool.
mention that. This was episode 1. Episode 2, we'll do better. Episode 3, we'll be pros. Who said it takes 10,000 hours to be a pro? I say 3 podcast episodes.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, that's a wrap. For now, we did the hard part.
Yeah, not really. Anyway, I got to piss, so we heading out?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay.
All right. Catch you guys later.
All right, bye.